Ay zero
Um,
skill niya. Oh, kana sir. Like
okay.
siya.
Nganong man tayo nagabutang og yes, because nagabutang ta ginaani because we don't want nga atong members nga nang very very long. Let's say for example for member CD, we don't want let's say for example our members if wala tay member CD because member CD is a zero force member and if atong wala ng member CD, we will have a very very long member AE. So instead of AC and CE, we will have a member AE. Very very long member na siya. Medyo not really very long but taas na siya kaayo nga member. And if this member is becomes in compression, then there will be the danger of buckling is mutaas ang ato nga danger sa batong buckling because ang atong backling is dependent sa ato nga length sa atong member. So if taas tag length sa ato nga member, then the danger for buckling will most likely occur. So we introduce kaning mga zero force members because when there will be some kind of force kanang what do you call that one, if kanang there will be a redistribution sa atong force. Let's say for example, ang wind is this member AD and member CD will only be zero if ang atong force is coming from the left side. Tama sa? If ang atong wind, if ang atong wind is happening in the member AB, if it is muhapak siya sa atong member AB. But what happens because wind is very kanang dili siya predictable. There are chances na atong wind will occur something ay hala nawala siya. Chances are naapoy cases nga ang atong wind will be diri siya mo occur sa atong roof mismo. Tama? Chances
Yes sir.
are, if ang atong wind mo occur dirang dapita, then this member AD and member CD will no longer be zero. Because when you try to distribute that one, you will have something like this. So from kuan, you distribute that padulong diring dapita. So since at this joint, this na naman kay load at joint B, then member AD and member CD will no longer be zero. So you introduce this kuan para mas ligon ang imuha nga trusses. Although in some cases or in some loadings, some members will come up with a zero force. Ana, it's just that nga kanang ay hala. Ana. So did I answer your question, John Mark?
Yes sir. Thank you sir.
Mm-hmm. So any other questions, class?
Sir, follow up sa question ni Planteras kaniha. Nay instances sir nga sectioning ra ang ma-apply nga method like magdepende sa
Yes.
trust or bisan unsa nga trust magamit either nga methods.
No, bisan unsa nga trust, you can always use method of sections regardless if one na siya. You can always use either method of sections or method of joints or a combination of two. Regardless of unsa nga method sa imong gampiton, pareha lang gina siya. You only use method of sections or depending asa ka mas convenient. But if you state sa exam that you use the method of joints, then you use the method of joints. But if it's stated in the exam that the method of sections, then you use the method of sections. And if it is not stated, then you have the freedom to choose what method are you going to use. And whether you use method of joints or use method of sections, the answer will always be the same. Di yun na siya mausob. That will still be the same.
Sir, follow up.
Questions, class? Yes.
Sir, sa trust sir ba kay nay instances nga irregular ang form sa trust. Like
Yes.
mas kusog ang anang kusog ang external force sa west like kaysa sa east ana lahig porma ang kuan yung trust.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
It can happen.
Ayun, sir, dili na ma-apply ang sectioning ana.
Ma-apply ra gyapon method of sections. Ma-apply ra gyud. Basta ang imong buhaton when you have a trust, you always have to solve the support reactions first. And then if na-solve na nimong support reactions, then that's the time you can use the method of sections. Pwede na nimong ma-segmentize ang imong bay. So we will discuss that later next time.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Another questions? Wala na questions, class?
Sa real life jud ana sir dili ra man na siya usa ka force ang maka naa sa external ana sir sa for example
Yes.
kinay hangin, ulan, o niya own pod nga kabugaton sa trusses.
Yeah. Kanisha, let's say for example, kanisha atong example, this is just, ang akong i-consider the load is just the load, the wind load. But in reality, there's also a, what you call, the ceiling load. Your member AC and CE will most likely have ceiling. Because in mga trust, di ba, pag mabutang kang trust, if natay budget or na if chara-chara tong balay, then we always put ceiling. Then kana siya is unsa may mag-carry ana niya. So of course ang atong trusses. So this member AC will most likely to have loads also. And this member BD and DE, this most likely will also have loads because unsa man nga loads ang naa diri. Ang loads nga naa diri is unsa man
Kanang sa
ang
roof,
atong
sir.
sa atong roof, ang atong mga purlins, ang atong nga roof, then napo na siya loading dirang dapita. It's just so happen nga kining diring dapita is ang akong gilodang isang joint A and B lang. That's why we ended up with a zero force member. But if this truss is fully loaded, then you do not expect that member AD and member CD will be zero. Yes. Some more questions, class? Kumusta na mo sa banin yung mga majors? Nagklase na mo?
Next week pang uban sir.
Yes, sir.
Kung sa'yo pinakalisod ninyo nga subject karon, feeling ninyo?
Kani, sir.
Kan
So far,
Kani ko
kani
ba?
sir, kaya pa man nakaklase ang uban.
Basta study lang mo ana, then try to kuan lang solve tong mga practice problems nato dito because ato naman dyan po nang may tabo sa atong exam ana. And again, your chances of passing in this subject depends on the number of problems you solve successfully and independently. That's good if you, because ang imong learning curve man good if the mas dagan kang problems nga na-solve is mas mas dali siyang musaka. Could you pwede niyong open sa ang inyong mga cameras because mag-text ko og screenshot.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, wala ko yung camera. Kaya na ako sa computer, sir.
Si Lloyd, it's okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Yan, sir, kanang lahi ako nga Gmail na gamit ko. Di sa ako mo change og ako Gmail, sir.
Sige lang, wala problema.
Dali,
Kung sa
sir.
nga Gmail mo gigamit.
Saladaga, sir. Ako sa nailip, sir.
Saladaga. Kisa ganun. What's your first name? Hindi mo Saladaga?
Naka-join ako, sir.
Okay. Sige. Batch 1 and then sige, another batch. Sige. Pages. Second page. Sige. Ay, uban nga pang kuwaon sa kuwan. Heaven. Sige. Another one. Last page. Ay, magkaulaw kay mga gwapo-gwapa natin niya, maulaw ta. Sige, thank you class. And if wala na may questions, then the session is adjourned. Thank you for
Thank you, sir.
Goodbye, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Thank you, sir.